YouTube, look, man, the 7 levels of an NBA player, bro. I ain't gonna lie. This video looked like it was gonna be tough, so we gotta react to it, man. Look, like, comment, subscribe, bro. But look, level 1, scrub, white chocolate.
Brian Scalabrine is the poster boy for players who somehow become more famous for not playing than actually playing.
That's a
These
fact.
guys barely hang on to the league, living off 10-day contracts and short stints that feel more like auditions than careers. They flash in summer league, get a few headlines, and then vanish once
That's
the
a
regular
fact.
season begins.
Hey, at
When
least
they
you got
check
some
into
shine,
games,
though.
it's either a blowout
Some people
or an
can't
accident.
even make the
Coaches
league,
don't call
like
plays for them.
me.
They
Trash, but it's okay.
call
I could have.
timeouts
I think I could
to
have
get them
been better
off the
than
floor.
white chocolate, to be honest.
Jared
but-
Jeffries is another one who managed
Jared
to be around
Jeffries, I
without
didn't even know
anyone
who that
knowing why.
was.
Scrubs like him spend more time on the bench than the actual bench does. They sit in full uniform, game after game, just waiting for that perfect scenario.
Sit there
a
for a
30-point
uniform.
lead with 40 seconds left. When their number is called, it's never with excitement, just to avoid injuries to players that actually matter. Anthony Bennett had expectations the size of a
Anthony
mountain and still
Bennett.
couldn't find
Bro, I remember what 2K was that when niggas was when Adam Schefter was on the game. Anthony Bennett.
a foothold. That's the Scrub story. Drafted high, drop fast. These players
Damn,
don't bring
yeah,
any
that's a
one
fact.
elite skill to the table. They're not lights out shooters, not lockdown defenders, not even great glue guys.
Yeah,
They're just there,
they're
filling
just there,
roster
gang.
space, floating through practice. Never really part of the plan. Sebastian Telfair came in with so much hype, but he ended up stuck in Scrub territory like so many others. These guys usually bounce between the NBA and the G League, and when that doesn't work out, they pack up for an overseas tour. Mid-career detours to random international leagues are
Damn,
common.
why he do Taco Fall like that? And Jabari Smith, Jabari Smith supposed to be like that. I don't know why they did Jabari Smith like that. He supposed to be
Anywhere
tough.
that'll give them
But he
minutes,
kept getting
even if the
injured and shit.
scoreboard's in another language. Yi Jan Lee had all the physical tools
Yi
and
Jian
still
Lee.
couldn't stick. That's the thing with Scrubs. Sometimes they look the part, but when the game starts, nothing happens. Coaches keep them around for practice, not production. They're useful bodies in scrimmages and scout team drills. The team's up 25 or down 30, that's when they check in. If fans remember them at all, it's for their college days. Or the Where Are They Now trivia
Where are they
segments.
now?
Jimmy Fredette had a legendary
Jimmy!
college run, but in the league,
Well, I remember
he
when niggas
couldn't
used to shoot a ball in school, bro, especially in middle school. We used to be that bit, Jamie, that bit for dick on my mama.
get past the end of the bench. Scrubs get their moment in the preseason, maybe even one decent game that fans hold on to for dear life. But once the regular season starts, they're glued to the sideline. Their stat lines usually look like
It's
they
level
never
one, though.
touched
It's
the
only
ball,
level one, man.
and in many cases, they didn't. Hashim Thabi had size, and teams still didn't know what to do
Hashim
with
Thabi
him.
used to be like
That's
that
when you
in
know
2K though.
someone's in scrub territory.
I get a
These
buck with
players
him
don't
and they
get
go on 2K.
trusted with real minutes. They might dress, they might warm up, but when the game's on the line, they're behind the water bottles. Their careers usually last under 3 years, and that's if they're lucky. Adam Morrison looked like he'd be something
Adam
special
Morrison.
after college, but ended up fading out fast. Scrubs like him don't retire with celebrations. They quietly disappear. No press tour, no jersey retirement, not even a farewell tour. They just stop getting calls, stop getting deals, and end up as footnotes. If fans remember them
Yeah,
at
it's
all,
tough out
it's
here
because
for a
they
level
Googled
one
draft
player.
busts one night out of boredom.
It's tough out here for
Darko
them
is still one
guys.
of the most famous
Darko?
examples of a player who went high in the draft and still landed in this category.
Bro, Pistons could have had Melo, bro.
Scrubs
they got
often carry
Darko.
that extra pressure. Not only did they
stupid,
underperform,
though?
but they did it in front of everyone. The league moves on quickly. Teams waive them without hesitation. Fans forget them even faster. Coaches only remember them as that guy we had for a few weeks. Kwame Brown caught heat for years, but the
Kwame
truth
Brown.
is, his career just never found its stride. That's the Scrub blueprint. Nothing sticks. They're locker room fillers, practice squad energy, and the 11th man in a rotation that only plays 8. They're not trusted in crunch time, not celebrated in victory, and definitely not remembered in retirement. That's what defines this level. The Scrubs are here and gone in a flash. Their jerseys never sell, their names never trend, and their
Damn.
highlight reels are just recycled practice footage. They're the definition of temporary, barely in, easily out, and almost always forgotten. But let's move on. Level 2. Bench player. These guys aren't
Okay.
carrying a franchise, but they're not getting tossed out of the league either.
You
They
feel
hang
me?
around because they're dependable, even if nobody's ever running to buy their jersey.
You
We
feel
spot
me?
them getting 10 to 15 minutes a night, doing just enough to hold down the second
Who they
unit
got on
without
this one,
turning
man?
the ball over every other possession. Think about someone like Corey Joseph. He's not flashy, but you always know
Facts.
what you're getting. He won't close games.
That's not quite. I thought
Nobody's
that was
banking
Cal
on him to hit a game winner, but when the starters need a break, he's the guy coaches trust not to throw everything off the rails.
Facts.
That reliability, that's why teams keep calling. They bring hustle,
Bruce
they
Brown
bring
definitely a bench player, good guy. Bruce Brown is definitely one of them.
energy, and most importantly, they bring
That was
silence.
over.
When it comes to complaining, These players don't go whining it to the media about playing time. They know their role and they lean into it. Garrett Temple built his entire career on that attitude.
Yeah.
He's been the veteran presence on more rosters than most people can count, and that's not by accident. Every once in a while, someone like Jody Meeks will come in and catch fire, suddenly dropping 20 points out of nowhere and then going quiet for the next week.
I'm about to
That's
say
the
Jody
thing with
Meeks
these
used to cook.
guys. They're streaky. When they're hot, they look like stars.
Don't put Lou
When
Williams
they're
in there. Lou
cold,
Williams a
it's
bucket.
easy to forget they're even on the team, but that randomness, it still adds value. You'll also hear them called locker room guys. They're glue players, the ones who keep things steady behind the scenes. Kendrick Perkins was a master at that. He wasn't lighting it up on the floor in his later years, but everyone respected what he brought to the team dynamic. Coaches value that more than fans realize. Players like Nick Collison spent nearly 2 decades doing
Bucket.
this exact thing. He was never the best player,
yeah,
on the
Nick
court,
Collins for
but he
OKC?
always knew where to be,
I think we
what to
retired
do,
that nigga jersey and everything, bro.
and how to keep the flow going. And if someone got hurt, he stepped up, kept it moving, and made sure nothing fell apart. That's what makes these bench guys vital. They're not the stars, but they keep the stars from collapsing. And it's not like they're just sitting there, they're still grinding. Luke Ridnour was another perfect example. Bounced
Luke
around the
Ridnour.
league, showed up ready every night, ran the offense for a few minutes, then sat back down. He never made wave, never tried to play outside himself, and that
Who
kept him
remember
in the
Luke
league
Ridnour?
for years. Reggie Bullock is the type of player who gets brought in for specific matchups. Need length on the wing? He's in. Need someone to space the floor for a few possessions?
That nigga can't
He'll
guard
hit
no
a
KD,
three,
man. Why we
grab a
playing that
rebound, and get back to the bench. Nothing
It's a
wild,
good video,
just
I can't
checking
lie.
boxes. That ability to plug in where needed keeps him employed season after season. And while the starters get the headlines, someone like Brian Cardinal was always working in the margins. His whole job was to come in, give energy, maybe take a charge, and keep the tempo up for
Ooh.
a few possessions. He wasn't trying to take over, just trying to keep things stable until the real firepower came back in.
bringing up
Their
anybody
contracts
name in
usually
NBA.
reflect that role too. Not huge money, but enough to stay on the
Hey!
roster without messing up the team's salary cap. That makes them valuable beyond the court. When teams look at depth, these are the guys they want. Players who won't complain, won't get injured too often, and won't drag down chemistry. And you know what? They're usually healthy. No long layoffs, no nagging injuries that derail their season. That's another reason they last. They take care of their bodies and stay available, which is more than you can say for a lot of higher profile players. When younger guys join the roster, these vets are often the first ones to help them adjust. That kind of mentorship doesn't show up in box scores, but it's part of the reason players like Delly stick around. He knew his role, played it hard, and showed the younger guys how to survive in the league without making headlines. They're not winning playoff series, and nobody's expecting them to. But when you look at how many teams have a steady second unit, you'll find players like Tony Snell keeping the wheels from falling
Man,
off.
Tony
They don't get the
Snell, that
glory,
0,
but they
0,
get the
0,
minutes
0
that
guy.
keep everything running. You won't find a single defining moment in their careers.
Bro, imagine being a level 2 bench player, bro. You, Tony Snell, nigga. You liable to go 0, 0, 0, 0, and 0.
But you will find years of showing up, staying ready, and doing the job. That's the life of a bench player. Serviceable, steady, and quietly essential to every team that wants to stay competitive across 82 games. By the way, if you guys want to subscribe, I'm going to be posting. And Barnes fits this level perfectly. Dependable, 3. Starter.
Starter,
Harrison Barnes
okay.
fits this level perfectly.
Straight
Dependable,
starter.
professional, and always
Definitely
ready to
professional.
contribute.
Harrison
Even-
Barnes gonna give you 15 plus. Easy. He gonna play a little bit of defense. He gonna give you a bang out or 3. He gonna do you.
if
He
he's
gonna do that
never
for you.
blowing up the
North
box
Carolina
score.
Tar Heels
These players
special.
give you 30 or more minutes every night and consistently average somewhere
Dort,
between
I
12
like
and
it.
18 points.
Tobias Harris
They're the
trash
kind of
ass.
guys you can plug into
Trash
the
though,
starting
bro.
lineup and not think
like-
twice.
I ain't gonna
Coaches
lie. These players are the ones you be like, bro, why you keep it's pissing me? Like, bro, do more. It's one of them players.
love
bro.
them. They don't create drama and they rarely mess up. They're just always there. Tobias Harris has
don't do
carved out a
enough.
career by being exactly that.
Tobias Harris don't
Solid.
do enough.
Not flashy,
He don't do
not
enough,
dominant,
though.
just reliable. Starters like
He don't
him
do
can
enough,
get you
bro.
20 plus points once in a while,
He can.
but it's not expected. When it
But
happens,
he don't do enough to get you over the hump. Though.
it's a
That's the
bonus.
problem.
These are the players who never get featured on highlight reels unless someone's scraping together a most underrated montage. They fly under the radar, especially with casual fans, but within the league, everybody knows what they bring. PJ Tucker brings defense, corner threes, and an attitude that doesn't show up on stat sheets.
I like
These
PJ
players
though.
usually hang around with the same team for several years, becoming part of the core 5
PJ
without being the
didn't
face
PJ
of
win
the
championship
franchise.
with,
They might not
the
be the
Bucks?
first name mentioned in pregame intros, but they're definitely one of the first names in the scouting report. Joe Smith was a classic version of this kind of player. Decent scorer, good rebounder, and
Ain't Joe Smith the one that got his wife on OnlyFans?
Always starting, but never starring. These guys rarely make all-star appearances, if ever. They're the players who fans have to argue about just to get them into the conversation.
Yeah.
He's been solid. It's probably the highest praise they get on national
he's been
broadcast.
solid.
But even so, they're important. They play real playoff minutes and are trusted in crucial stretches. Derek Favors brought consistent inside presence
I
and
remember
rebounding.
Derek
That's
Favors,
another part
bro. He was coming out of college as one of them ones that I ain't gonna lie. I remember Derek Favors.
of what
Derek
defines this level.
Favors.
These guys do the dirty work. The in-between stuff, they're not making commercials or selling shoes, but they're the reason teams stay competitive. You can build around them, but you probably shouldn't. They're great complementary pieces, reliable, steady,
Yes.
and just productive enough to keep their name in trade discussions. Steven Adams fits right in here. He's
Big
tough,
Steve-O.
strong, and does exactly what you need from a starting
I ain't
center.
gonna lie,
These
bro.
players are usually
Steven
in that
Adams, bro, you
mid-tier.
screaming like that, bro. Yeah, we boxing, bro. I'm gonna have to see you after the game. I'm putting that switchy on you. What you doing, Stephen A? I mean, Steven Adams,
Contract
what you
zone.
doing?
Not max money, but not minimum
Steve
either.
Adams, what
They're
the hell?
paid fairly for what they do, and even though they're not franchise guys, their presence gives a team structure. You don't worry when they're on the court. That peace of mind is worth a lot. Brook Lopez, before his Milwaukee resurgence, was one of those big men who gave you buckets and boards, but didn't tilt the scales. That's the thing about players at this level. They often peak in the middle of their career. They're effective early, reliable in their prime, and then slowly start to fade. Their decline isn't dramatic. It's quiet, just like their rise. Trevor Ariza had the kind of career every team wants from a starter.
Yeah.
He defended, hit timely shots, and always seemed to be in the right place. These players win respect from coaches because they follow the plan. They don't freelance. They do what's asked, and they do it well enough to keep starting. Season after season, they might not fill arenas, but they fill roles,
What about
and that matters.
What's his name? Buddy from the Warriors. They play for the Warriors. What's his name? I forgot his fucking.
Andre Miller ran point with no flash, but full control. That's the vibe for many of these guys. They're not looking to go viral.
Andre Miller like he was 40 as a rookie. Andre Miller like he was 40 as a rookie.
They're looking to get the job done. Their careers don't scream greatness, but they whisper consistency. If they get traded, it's not because they're underperforming, it's because another team sees their values. They're often included in deals because they balance out the roster. No one builds around them, but everyone can use one. Eric Snow was one of those players who could
Eric
start on a
Snow.
playoff team and do exactly what was needed. Defend, facilitate, and stay out of the way. That's another strength of this group, knowing
get
their
AI on
role.
this
They don't
team.
try to do too much. They're not stat chasers or highlight hunters. They stick to their lane, and because of that, they extend their careers far longer than some players with more raw talent. These players rarely go out with a bang. There's no massive retirement tour or emotional farewell video. They leave the game the way they played it, quietly, professionally, and without any unnecessary attention. Their careers might not be legendary, but they're respectable. When you look back, you won't see dominance, but you will see a body of work that teams appreciated
Dennis
and
Scrotum,
coaches
definitely
trusted.
one of those
That's
two, ain't
the
gonna lie.
essence of a level 3 starter. Reliable,
Derek
consistent,
White, yeah, I can get with this. Lou Dort, Derek White. I could get with this list. I could get with level 3 starters. Yeah, I can get with that. Level 3, I like it.
solid. Not a superstar, not a scrub, just someone who showed up, did the job, and did it well enough to earn minutes, contracts, and the respect of anyone paying close enough attention. But let's move on. Level 4. Star.
A star,
Jaylen Brown
Jaylen
fits this
Brown.
level perfectly.
I
Multiple
can get with
all-star
that.
appearances, max contract status, and the
Now, you know, the real deal is going to get to the All-Stars and the Superstars. That's the Jalen Brown
go-to
star.
option on a playoff team.
But
Players
think
like him
about it, though. A star can get a $300 million contract? What?
are the face of the franchise, regularly putting up over 20 points per night and drawing every bit of the defense's attention. They're the guy on the billboard, in the locker room leading film sessions, and out in the community shaking hands and signing jerseys. Coaches build offensive schemes around them, and opponents build game plans
Bucket,
trying to
get off
stop
me.
them.
Too low.
Darius Garland is
Darius
another
Garland,
player in this tier.
is he a star?
Young, explosive, and already recognized as one of the league's top scoring threats. These players
I
are
don't know. Is Derek Garland a star, though?
constantly expected
Let me
to
know in the
deliver
comments,
in the
you two. Let
clutch.
me know,
You
bro.
don't just want them taking the
don't
last
know.
shot, you need it. They draw double teams like magnets and still find
But
ways
he
to
is tough,
score
though.
or create for others.
Darius
When the
Garland is
playoffs
tough.
hit, they carry the team's hopes on their shoulders.
Can't lie.
If the squad wins, they're praised. If it loses, they're the first name in every debate segment the next morning. Tyrese Maxey represents
Maxey
how
is
fast a
definitely-
player can
no.
rise into this level.
He a star? He not a Tyrese Maxey not a superstar? Or am I tripping? Am I tripping? or at least I don't know,
Stars
at least
have
an
dominant
all-star.
stretches and statistically strong prime years that leave an impression. They're not just efficient scorers, they're advanced metrics machines. Look at any lineup combination, and when they're on the floor, everything runs smoother. They're not just producing, they're shifting games. Brandon Ingram has been that first option for years now. Teams know what he brings and still struggle to slow him down.
But
These
they-
players live at the top of the scouting report.
Ugh,
They
that's
demand the
tough.
ball, and when they don't have it, they're still controlling the flow of the game.
No,
Whether
he's
it's
not.
drawing
Not-
defenders
Not Brandon Ingram, bro. I'm not putting Brandon Ingram.
or collapsing the defense, they
I'm not
tilt
putting
the
Ben
court
Ingram in there.
just by showing up.
Zach
Zach
LaVine,
LaVine
yes,
brings that
yes.
highlight level explosiveness mixed
Yes,
with
for
consistent 20-plus scoring. Stars like him are no longer surprises. They're expected to perform. National games feature them prominently, and the league markets them as part of the next generation of stars. Their faces pop up in sneaker ads, commercials, and social campaigns. Their presence on a roster raises the team ceiling instantly. Chris Middleton is the kind of player who's often overlooked until the playoffs come around.
Chris Middleton, a star?
And suddenly,
I don't
he's the
know
one
about that
hitting
one.
the
That's
big
tough.
shots and making
That's
huge
tough. I don't
decisions
know.
late in the game. Stars are
agree.
expected to not only score, but to lead
Oh, Jalen Green.
emotionally,
Huh!
vocally, and through effort. They're the players
Okay,
who shift
these, I can
momentum
go with
and
these.
keep
I'm not
teams
mad at this.
alive in tough stretches. Bam adds defense to the
I'm
star
not, okay. I like this list. Level 4 star, okay, I'm liking it. I'm liking it now.
label. These players aren't just scorers, they're two-way threats. They anchor both ends, whether it's protecting the rim or switching onto guards. Their versatility adds value in every possession. When the other team brings the ball up, they're always looking over their shoulder for that matchup. Stars like Bam disrupt the rhythm just by existing. Scotty Barnes is already being
Scotty
treated like the
Barnes.
future in his city. That's the mark of a star. Franchise-level trust before age even becomes a factor. Teams hand the reins over and expect results. Whether it's a rebuilding roster or a contender looking for an edge, these players are expected to be the center of everything. When things go right, they're praised like legends. When things go wrong, they take the heat. Tyler Hero brings that flashy, shot-making
There we go.
confidence.
Now I like this list. Tyler Hero, definitely a star in the making. I feel like he can be a superstar, but bro, he gotta be number one option. Let him be number one, bro. Let him have
Every
it.
star-level guard needs.
Who y'all
These
got?
players
Tyler
have
Hero,
to
Austin
believe the
Reeves,
next
bro. Give me Tyler Hero over Austin. Give me Tyler Hero.
shot is going in because the whole team
Tyler Hero.
is relying on them to create offense. Their usage rate is sky high, and they've got to make tough decisions possession after possession. There's no hiding. The ball always finds them when it matters most. LaMelo Ball adds flair and creativity
LaMelo Ball is
to
a
this
superstar.
level.
He tripping.
Stars have to be entertaining too. It's part of the
LaMelo Ball
pack.
is a superstar.
The
He
league
tripping.
markets them. Fans buy their jerseys, and kids mimic their moves in driveways. But it's not just style, there's substance. Stars don't survive on flash alone. They've got to put
Desmond
up numbers,
Bane?
lead
Fuck
teams,
outta here, man.
and do it night after night, season after season. Desmond Bane is the kind of player who doesn't look like a star at first glance,
He's
but the
not.
numbers and impact say otherwise. That's a key part of this level. Respect from peers, coaches, and front offices. These players might not be legends yet, but they're unquestionably elite in the current landscape. They've got top 25 status locked in, and teams know what happens when they're on the schedule. Julius Randle has had dominant regular season runs. And though he's taken criticism, he's
can
firmly
get
in
with
this
this
tier.
being a
That's
star.
another part of
He's
being a
alright,
star.
he a star.
The scrutiny. When things don't go perfectly, it's their fault. When they drop 30 in a win, it's expected. When they shoot poorly in a loss, it's a headline. They live under that spotlight, and they still produce. Stars leave a legacy
I don't know
with
about
each
all that,
franchise they touch. Whether they stay for a decade or move after a few years, their presence is felt long after. Stat sheets,
nigga played for the
game
Pistons.
tapes, and playoff memories carry their signature. They're not all-time greats, but they're close enough that every team wants one, and every defense dreads facing one. But now, the big dog. Level 5. Superstar.
Superstar.
Jason Tatum lives in this tier now. Top
We
10
did
player in the league,
it!
All-NBA first-team regular,
Yeah.
and the kind of talent that defines an entire franchise.
I get Jason
When he's
Tatum
on the
superstar for
floor,
sure.
everything changes. Defenses collapse, media coverage spikes, and fans around the world tune in, even if they don't support his team. Superstars don't just lead, they control the narrative.
Bucket.
If they lose in the playoffs, it's a national discussion. If
Yeah.
they win, it's legacy talk. Jalen
Facts.
Brunson has officially
Jalen Brunson is a superstar though, Chad. Come on, what we talking about YouTube? Jalen Brunson is a superstar? I don't know about that one, gang.
broken through to this level.
I might
He
be a
doesn't
hater,
just
though.
carry his team.
I might be a hater though, I ain't gonna lie.
He transforms it. These players create new expectations overnight. One moment, the team's trying to make the playoffs. The next, it's contending for a conference title. Superstars shift the balance of power just by existing. They alter the way
I might
teams
have to
build
give
their
it to him, I ain't gonna
rosters.
lie.
General managers make every decision with them in mind. How to help them, how to keep them, how to maximize their
Tyrese
window.
Halliburton?
Tyrese Halliburton brings the
Never a
full pack.
superstar.
Elite efficiency,
Never.
elite volume, and a game that looks effortless but is
I ain't gonna lie,
brutally
that choking
effective.
celebration though, that was tough. The game winner, but he's not a superstar. Tyrese Halliburton is a star. He's not a superstar, bro. We
These
giving that
guys put
superstar
up
title
25
to
and 10
everybody.
like
We
it's
can't do it.
nothing. They're walking double-doubles with the ability to turn those into triple-doubles anytime they feel like it. They don't just get coverage, they dominate. Every game, every move,
Them
every
Book.
quote
Yeah,
becomes part
them
of the
Book.
larger story.
Superstar.
Devin Booker owns playoff moments. That's a trademark of this level. Superstars deliver in high-pressure
Bottoms.
games and make it look
That boy
routine.
nasty.
They lead deep playoff runs, take over fourth quarters, and force opponents to throw out the scouting report. Defensive schemes get rewritten to
Donovan
deal
Mitchell.
with them.
Oh my
Traps,
God.
doubles, full court pressure.
That
None
was
of it really
crazy.
works. These players always find a way. Donovan Mitchell has that explosive scoring ability that defines the top tier. Superstars don't wait for the game to come to them. They attack it. Whether it's a quick 30-point
Facts,
night
bro.
or a statement
Attack the
40-piece,
game. What
they
you
can
talking about?
erupt whenever it's needed. Every team
Facts.
knows who's getting the ball. Stopping it, different story. These guys pull up from anywhere and finish at the rim like gravity doesn't apply. Cade Cunningham is still young, but the label's already forming. This level demands
I'm going K superstar. K is better than Tyrese Halliburton, bro. Argue about it, nigga. He's better than Tyrese Halliburton
generational
right now.
talent, the kind you don't see every year. Teams draft them
Gas.
and immediately adjust their timeline. Suddenly, patience becomes planning. Everything revolves around their development and their ceiling. Once they hit, it's a franchise reset. Superstars are the plan, the system, the culture, all wrapped into one. Wembanyama's already changing the way basketball is played.
Wemby a
That's the
superstar.
kind of impact
I
we're
don't know,
talking
Wemby
about.
might be a
Superstars
unicorn-
redefine what's
unicorn
possible.
type
They
shit.
bring something that forces everyone, fans, coaches, analysts, to reevaluate the expectations. Size, skill, defense, shooting, it doesn't matter what position they play,
Yes.
they transcend it. These players are
Unicorn.
unicorns with the resumes to prove it. Anthony Edwards brings charisma and chaos.
AE, there you go. I
Superstars
thought you
don't
was
just
gonna-
play,
yeah, I'm about to say, you gotta
they
mention
perform,
AE.
they entertain, they fill arenas. Their jerseys sell across the globe. They dominate All-Star Weekend because they're built for the spotlight. They're also magnets for criticism. One missed shot, one playoff series loss, and suddenly everyone's asking, is he really that guy? But they take the heat and come back stronger. Kyrie's game is a masterpiece.
Kyrie, for
Impossible
sure.
to replicate and impossible
this
to
video
ignore.
was hard.
These guys make the league more interesting just by being in it. Their style becomes part of basketball culture. Kids copy their move. Other players mold their game around them. When they hit free agency, it's not just a signing. It's a shift in the league's power structure. Teams get gutted, rosters flipped just to make room. Anthony Davis dominates both ends of the court. That's another defining trait. Superstars don't take plays off. They're expected to defend the paint, run the offense, hit big shots, and do it all without blinking. They show up in every advanced metric, lead in efficiency, and make everyone around them better. The team's identity becomes a reflection of who they are. These players live under the microscope. Every game, every possession, every comment is
Okay.
analyzed. They're compared constantly. Who's better? Who's next? Who's fading? The weight they carry is heavier than stats can measure, and yet they produce consistently. They set records, sign global endorsements, and stay at the center of the conversation. Their presence defines an
Jalen
era.
Brunson, I don't
You
think
don't
he's
just
a superstar,
remember
though.
the teams, they become known by the superstar that led them. These players don't need introductions, and they don't need hype. They bring both. Whether it's opening night or game 7, everyone's watching. They don't just play basketball, they change it. But let's get historic. Level 6. Legend. Bill Russell didn't just win, he defined what winning looked
Legend.
like. Legends aren't just remembered, they're studied. Their names aren't part of the conversation, they are the conversation. These players get inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame,
Bill
have their
Russ.
numbers retired, and become symbols of entire eras. Their careers are the foundation of the league's history, and their dominance stretches from the first minute they played to the last time they laced up.
Wilt Chamberlain.
Kareem finished with career stats that still sit at
Kareem,
the
yeah.
top of the record books. Legends don't just have a good
What was
run,
so back in the
they
day,
leave
it's like,
behind
them
decades
highlights
worth of
be looking
numbers,
trash, ain't
trophies,
gonna
and
lie.
memories.
If y'all go back and watch some highlights like Wilt Chamberlain, y'all watch some highlights, bro. Them shit.
They win multiple championships, collect MVPs,
I should've been
finals
going back in the day. I would've got a
MVPs,
buck, I
and
ain't
shape
gonna
the
lie.
identity of the franchise itself. When fans think of those teams, they think of that player first.
Ooh,
That's legacy. Magic Johnson had the game, the showmanship, and the impact. Legends changed how the game was played. They introduced new styles, new mindsets, and forced the league to evolve around them. Whether it was passing, scoring, defending, or leading, they made the extraordinary feel ordinary. These players set the standard and then raised it every year. Larry Bird wasn't just great, he was unforgettable. Legends have rivalries that become folklore. Every matchup, is part of basketball history. These battles were more than just wins and losses. They were chapters in a larger story that shaped the league for generations. Legends made every game feel like an event, every possession like a moment you had to see live. Wilt Chamberlain broke the game with stats that look made up. That's another piece of this level. They weren't just good for their time. They were unbelievable for all time. You hear the numbers, you see the records, and you wonder how it was even possible. And yet,
look how he laying the ball up. He playing against fucking, bro. Come on, bro. He wasn't playing real games, bro.
Did it over and over with consistency that looks superhuman in hindsight. Hakeem brought footwork and finesse that's still taught today. Legends inspire generations. Young players study them, copy their moves, and model their approach. They watch the clips, read the books, and try to measure up to careers that feel unreachable. These players didn't just win, they created the blueprint for what greatness looks like. Steph Curry shifted the entire league, changing how basketball's played. Legends have that kind of influence. One player, one skill set, completely rewriting the strategy of every team. That's not hype, that's reality. The league looks different because they existed, and even after they're gone, their impact doesn't fade. It grows. Oscar Robertson was the original stat sheet stuffer. Legends often lead in areas no one was tracking seriously until they came along. Once they start doing it, suddenly it becomes a standard. They redefine what's expected. Triple doubles used to be rare, then he made them routine. That's the power of a legend. They expand the game. Kobe Bryant created iconic moments that'll be replayed forever. That's another part of this level. These players have signature moments burned into the memory of the sport. Game winners, playoff explosions, all-time performances that don't just live on highlight reels, they live in basketball culture. You remember where you were when it happened. Shaq dominated physically like few ever could. Legends are remembered not just for what they did, but how they did it. There's no one quite like them, and there never will be. They're the kind of players who make fans, teammates, and opponents all shake their heads. Because it didn't seem fair. Their style becomes part of league history. Nikola Jokic already has a place in this group. His vision, passing, and scoring from the center position.
Come on, Nikola already a legend? Damn. You crowned him already?
Changed what's possible at his size. Legends are players you can't compare directly to anyone else. They become their own category. When you talk about others, you compare them to the legend, not the other way around. Kevin Durant created one of the most feared scoring arsenals ever. Legends score, but they also haunt. Defenders know what's coming and still can't stop it. These players command respect from everyone. Fans, peers, analysts, even critics. Their name carries weight in every conversation, every comparison, every list. Giannis is still adding to his resume, but he's already solidified his place here. Multiple MVPs, a championship, global appeal. He checks every box. Legends extend beyond the court. They become cultural icons, brand ambassadors, role models, and storytellers. They're featured in documentaries, biographies, and league anniversaries. They stay relevant long after the last game. That's what Level 6 is. It's not just about how great they were, it's about how deeply they changed the game, how widely they're remembered, how permanently they've shaped the league. Legends don't fade, they echo, but you know what's last. Level 7. Go.
I'm already knowing. LeBron
Michael
and
Jordan isn't just in the conversation.
The only two, nigga.
He is the conversation.
No, he's
he set
not,
a bar that doesn't even seem
LeBron,
reachable.
nigga.
From a perfect 6 for 6 in the finals to 10 scoring titles and 5 league MVPs. His career was the definition of dominance. He didn't just win, he redefined what greatness meant in sports. His impact went beyond the hardware into sneakers, culture, marketing, and global awareness. You don't say basketball legend without thinking of him first. LeBron James, on the other hand, has built a career so long, so productive, and so consistent, it looks like a cheat code. 21 All-NBA selections, over 40,000 points, and still going. He's led the league in scoring, assists, playoff wins, you name it. Unlike Jordan's intense perfection, LeBron's case is built on complete versatility and longevity. He's a walking triple-double threat and ranks top 100 in every meaningful category across the board. These two didn't just dominate their eras, they defined them.
I ain't gonna lie. Give me LeBron over Jordan. Let me know who y'all think is the GOAT, bro. Let's settle this in blast for all in the comment section. Who is the GOAT? LeBron or Jordan? Give me Bron.
Were the faces of the NBA and became household names in places that didn't even have basketball courts. GOATs don't just appear on TV, they show games in places that didn't even have basketball courts. GOATs don't just appear on TV, they show up in textbooks, documentaries, and museum exhibits. When Jordan took flight, or when LeBron chased down a block, it didn't feel like a
That
play.
block was
It felt like
nasty.
a moment history would remember. Jordan's influence was immediate and lasting. He brought global attention to the league during a time when it was
He
still
did that.
trying to
That's a
find its
fact.
footing internationally. Every player that came after him measured themselves against him. His career wasn't just successful,
crazy.
it was mythical.
His late
The
package?
Last Dance, the
That-
Dream
that
Team,
Jordan late
the flu
package?
game. It's all part of a larger story that makes him feel like a sports deity. LeBron took that mythology and added 20 plus years of real-time dominance. He didn't just match expectations, he created new ones. High school phenom, chosen one, and somehow he exceeded all of it. He's played in 10 finals, won 4,
10
been
of
the
'em.
centerpiece of every team he's been on, and reinvented himself with each era. His resume reads like a video game character with every skill maxed out.
That nigga,
GOAT level
bro.
players do more than win.
nigga was in
They
10
elevate the
finals,
game.
bro.
They turn teammates
fuck
into
is this
champions, franchises into dynasties, and moments into legacies. Jordan made players want to be killers. LeBron made players want to be complete. One was about ruthlessness and instinct. The other, precision and control. They're two sides of the same unreachable coin. They also carry the weight of every comparison. When a new star emerges, the question is always the same. Is he the next Jordan? Or can he catch LeBron? That's what being a GOAT means. You're the final
Facts.
answer. When barbershops argue, when analysts debate, when
Yeah.
documentaries air, it always circles back to them. Jordan's clutch moments are burned into memory. The shot over Elo, the shrug, the double nickel at the Garden. They've been replayed so often, you don't even need commentary. LeBron's chase down block in the finals, already an immortal play. His game winners, his finals performances, his ability to make
Them
the right play
performances is
every
just
single
nasty.
time. It's a masterclass in basketball IQ. Jordan made the NBA cool. LeBron made it universal. One wore gold chains and black and red kicks. The other made school programs, invested in media, and still gave you 30, 10, and 9 on a
Crazy.
Tuesday night. Their off-court
my
impact
mama.
is as large as their on-court success. From endorsements to philanthropy, they've used their platforms to change lives. Being a GOAT also means being part of every conversation, even outside sports. People compare Jordan to Ali, to Tiger Woods, to Serena Williams.
Ali.
LeBron's name
Don't be comparing. I'm sorry. Don't be comparing Jordan to Ali. Nobody is Ali. Nobody, whoever plays sports is Ali. Stop it.
is right there too, not
Right
just
there,
for
bro.
what they've done, but for what they represent. Excellence, durability, and complete domination. Their jerseys hang in arenas and sell out across the world. Their shoes are worn by kids who never saw them play live. Their names get referenced in music, politics, and entertainment. They're not just athletes, they're global landmarks. What makes them different from other legends is simple: the gap. There are stars, there are icons, and then there's them. Their achievements are
there's
so
them.
massive, so comprehensive,
That's a
that
fact,
even
though.
trying to replicate them feels like chasing a shadow. Michael Jordan is
Facts.
the symbol of perfection. LeBron James is the model of evolution. Together, they don't just define basketball greatness, they define greatness, period. Every future player
I ain't gonna lie.
will be judged against them, and that's not pressure. It's proof. That's what makes them level 7. That's what makes them GOATs. If you enjoyed this,
I
I'm
ain't gonna
gonna
lie,
be
this video was tough, bro. Y'all want to see more videos like this, man? Want to see me react to more videos like this, man? Let me know in the comments, bro. I like this video. This list was. Let me know if the list was good. Let me know if this is a bad list. Let me know in the comments, bro. But look, y'all subscribe to the YouTube, bro. More videos coming every day. Y'all know what's going on, man. But I'm gonna see y'all next one, man. No cap.